Along with the world's largest art competition, Grand Rapids is hosting another notable gathering this week.
That's right. The West Michigan Policy Forum has brought leaders from business and politics together over the last couple of days here. 24-Hour News 8 political reporter Rick Albin was at today's event. What's going on?
It's been going on for a few years. This has really started to grow, and today there was a big crowd on hand. The Policy Forum's a chance for leaders to look at specific issues, discuss them, and then this is what makes it different. They vote on whether they should pursue these ideas with the legislature in order to make change.
What's in the long-term best interest?
Hundreds of business leaders and decision makers descended on downtown Grand Rapids for the policy conference. In the past, the group has talked about everything from infrastructure to right to work. Today, one panel dealt with term limits.
Well, I never supported term limits. I view it as a gimmick.
As it happened later in the 80s and early 90s, became a very strong supporter of term limits.
That set up the conversation about one of the issues the policy conference may look into in the future, modifying term limits in Michigan. A former Democratic governor, Jim Blanchard, and former Republican Lieutenant Governor Dick Posthumus started out on opposite sides of the issue years ago. But now, both believe term limits have not lived up to their potential.
Legislators now are only serving 6 years in the House or 8 years in the Senate, and so their time frame for making policy is very short.
Posthumus thinks that term limits should be modified to let members serve their 14 years in either or both chambers. Blanchard says they should be done away with altogether. He points to Governor Snyder's attempt to build a new bridge to Canada, something that Blanchard has worked with Snyder to achieve.
And wouldn't even help him. He had to make a separate agreement, wisely, with Canada to get this done. And I don't think we would have had that if we'd had a knowledgeable legislature that could withstand the pressure and perhaps even the financial support of outside interests.
Now, of those 4 issues that the Policy Forum decided to look at going forward, the number 2 issue, term limits. They say by about 22% that that's an important issue that they would like to address. But the number 1 issue at this year's Policy Forum, and I just got this email, it has all of the results, it's 37% for roads and infrastructure. Business folks want the roads fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always an issue for those for that community. They'd like to see that infrastructure improved.
Absolutely, and to get in a shameless plug, this Sunday on To The Point, we're going to be talking about next hour. Governor Snyder says something very interesting about how and when he thinks that road funding will come, but you'll have to wait till Sunday.
All right. Shameless indeed.
Yes,
all right. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.